The bright studio lights faded slowly, leaving the anchor's desk bathed in soft gold. Bradley Walsh sat silently, his usual grin gone, replaced by something quieter, a current of fear and reflection running through his eyes. The cameras were off now. The show had ended. Yet backstage, the silence felt heavier than the applause ever had. Weeks ago, the call came. The doctor on the line had said words Bradley had hoped never to hear. "It's more serious than we thought. We need to think ahead." He kept replaying them in the car, the words echoing. His beloved family, the schedule of shows, the laughter of studios, all had been his life. But now, the laughter felt distant, strained across a fault line of worry. For decades, Bradley had been the everyman we invited into our homes. With his sharp wit on the quiz show, his father-son adventures on road trips, his hearty laugh, it seemed as if nothing could touch him. But health, it turns out, touches everyone. He remembered sitting in the doctor's office, the monitor showing numbers he never expected. Cholesterol, arteries, a ticking clock he hadn't measured until now. He had once said he felt like a time bomb. Now the diagnosis had shifted, something more layered, a condition that threatened not just his body, but his purpose. His eyes, once full of mischief and warmth, were clouded by a chronic condition called blepharitis. The doctor told him that unless he acted, the vision in those familiar eyes might dim. For someone whose entire career relied on being present, alert, vibrant, it felt like the ground beneath him was cracking. He thought of the early days, the boy from modest roots, fancying the football pitch, dreaming of something bigger. The pivot into entertainment, the nights on stage, the ad-libs, the banter with contestants. He had built more than a career. He had built a home in our living rooms. And now ask him about the hardest line he would ever have to cross, he'd say it wasn't a quiz question. It was the question of, how long can I keep doing this? The question of walking away. When the news broke to the public, friends, fans, even those he didn't know, the reaction was immediate. Shock, concern. The timelines of tweets and comments, hearts and emojis, all pointing back to him and the man behind the facade. "We're with you," they said. "Take care of you." And the problem was, Bradley was taking care of everyone except himself. One night, after the last take of the day, he sat quietly in his dressing room mirror. The familiar face stared back, but he saw the strain. A man who had given so much, now asking what the price would be. He thought of his father, who passed away early from heart complications, age 59, and how Bradley had always carried that shadow. He had worked to outpace it, to outrun fate. But now fate had a new chapter. He picked up his phone and texted his son, "Need to talk when I get home." They had always been good at the big things, grand trips, spotlight moments, but he realized the little things were the hardest. The missed match, the quiet dinner, the laughter postponed for tomorrow. He wondered, was tomorrow certain anymore? Over the next few weeks, Bradley's schedule changed. He turned down guest spots. He asked for support. He embraced a slower pace. But the cameras still wanted him. The audience still expected him. So he showed up, smiled, delivered the familiar charm. But in his heart, he carried new lines written in his own blood. Hope, fear, urgency. And in that silence between takes, he found something unexpected. Gratitude. He realized the illness, the prognosis, The what-ifs had peeled back the layer of celebrity and left him face to face with truth, not just about health, but about time, about love, about the moments that don't make headlines, but make life. In an interview, when asked, "What scares you most?" he paused. Then his voice cracked. "It's not death," he said. "It's not the applause or the roles I missed. It's the moments I didn't live." So while the news may feel like a blow, it also feels like a turning point, for him and for us. For we who watch, we who laugh, we who forget. If Bradley Walsh is asking us to slow, to feel, to live, maybe we should listen. Because the tragic health news, though heavy, doesn't have to be final only in sorrow. It can also be the start of something raw and honest, a story not just of decline, but of facing the mirror and choosing what matters. And when the spotlight fades and the applause dims, what remains is simple. The man in the mirror, the loved ones waiting, the chance to say what matters. Bradley Walsh knew that. We'll be watching and caring and hoping.